You're listening to Truth on Tap with hosts Kevin Kierstead. The Big Show.
That's right. I had to do 3 shows to get it right. I'll do 4 if I need to, bitches. You can't stop me. I'm on a roll. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, karma's a bitch. I hope so. Damn, skip it, brother. Yep, that's me. This is my friend that stayed in a haunted hotel. Yeah, a bit of a retard is what she is. And that's how that goes. Maybe she shouldn't have stayed in a haunted hotel if she was going to bitch about it for a week afterwards, huh? Yeah. That's her fault. You're listening to Truth on Tap, your host, Kevin Kierstead. The reason that I came on tonight was that primarily I was trying out a new plugin that's supposed to make my broadcast here sound like a major radio station as far as the quality of the audio. And a few things woke me up to the reality. The reality is I don't have a powerful computer. I don't have enough knowledge about audio details to get this just right. And I was ruining my broadcast to the extent that it could be ruined. So I started broadcasting and all hell broke loose with stutters and all kinds of pops and hisses, and I got rid of that and started another broadcast, screwed that up because I was already flustered from the software. So we're on our 3rd one here. Yeah, alright, that's enough about that. Fake people, that's the topic. Don't you hate them? Oh gosh, fake people. But let's go ahead, before we even start our assault on fake people, and put up a defense for them. Shouldn't we do that? Isn't that fair? Innocent until proven guilty. The presumption of idiocy, I should have said that. The presumption of innocence is there, at least in America. It's supposed to be, but it's not there. Oh no, we hang people, don't we? Headlines, man suspected of raping child. Kill him. Wait a minute, the headline said man suspected of raping child. Kill him. What do you mean kill him? We got to do an investigation. Kill him. That's how Americans are, aren't we? Oh, and haven't people been like that since the beginning of time? It's a very mature thing to be able to say, okay, we got a suspect, but that doesn't mean he's guilty. We need to look into this. It's a very mature thing, and I'm glad the law uses some maturity in that respect, even though certain agencies will quickly try to pin a crime on somebody to close the case. What a sad thing that is. Oh. You know, prosecutors and cops that do that, man, what would I do to them if I could? I think what I'd do is get a bunch of blind people together. Bunch of blind people. I'd take the cops and the prosecutors that love to just pin something on somebody quickly instead of looking into the case. Let me tell you what I'd do. I need to take a sip of my coffee here first. I'd get about 100 willing participants that were blind, take them out, line them up horizontally so that there were no risk to each other. So they'd be in this perfect horizontal line facing, say, the west. Then I would give them yard darts. You remember yard darts, those fucking dangerous things we had as kids. You throw up into the sky and wait for one to come down and land in your skull. Yeah, but I don't even think they sell them anymore. And damn not, because Darwin would have appreciated it as a tool of evolution. Tie down the prosecutors and the police near the circular hula hoop things that the yard darts were supposed to go into for you to get a point. Tie them down. Don't blindfold them. Let them see what's coming. And let them move out of the way. But scare them. You know. Have the yard darts coming down. The blind people just throwing them and coming down 3 and 4 at a time. Yeah, because what you're doing to that person that you insist on pinning the crime on right away is far worse than you getting hit with a yard dart. So that's what I would do to you. Now that's my creative punishment for the day. How about that? Like that? I got more. I got more where that came from. I can find more. That was a live discovery, but I can find more. Yes, sir. Fake people may have come from a evolutionary standpoint as well. Most of you know I'm kind of into psychology, and I believe very strictly in the accuracy of the uh, evolutionary psychology branch. As you know, or you may know, there are roughly 6 branches of psychology, a 7th if you go integral. Most psychologists, I studied the same thing, behavioralism. Behavioralism to me is the math of psychology. It's very accurate at what it does, but it doesn't give you the why. No, they don't tinker with that. It's kind of like real scientists, well, they call psychiatrists real scientists, but that used to be in debate. Well, they are. It's kind of like calling real scientists, getting them into paranormal studies. They don't want to touch that. Sorry. I like the why. Yeah, I'll dig into that. I may not be right, but I'll dig into it. So I like to look at evolutionary psychology. A funny thing, considering I don't believe in evolution. Well, don't hear me wrong now. I believe in it the way it's described, that man changed over time. What I don't believe is the false premise that is put forth that shows man growing into some bigger, better, faster, stronger creature. Aren't you seeing the little strobe light effect? Aren't you seeing the snapshots? The little man, the chump, getting bigger, he's getting bigger, now he's stronger and taller, now he's got the chest, now he's walking upright. Where are we going next? It's got to be something bigger, better, faster, stronger, right? No. All you're seeing is the messy trimmings of what nature has carved out. That's it. What has survived is in that poster. What has not is not in that poster. There is no growth toward anything. There is adaptation, and that is all. And I'll repeat that because it's worth remembering. In evolution, there is adaptation, and that is all. If you do not adapt to Mother Nature's requirements, you die. If you die, you cannot breed. Equation over. It's that simple. Okay? So those things, and Darwin himself said, it's not the bigger, better, faster, stronger creature that's going to survive. It's the one that can adapt. So how could you believe anything other than what has come down the line as the creature who could adapt? How could you believe anything other than that? So my theory on stating that evolution is very misleading because the posters, and I'm not saying the teachers come out and say this all the time, some of them do. The posters lend kids to think, and not unwitting students of anatomy or evolution, to say that we're growing into something stronger, that we're getting better. Look at that evolution poster. We're going here, 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 here. Next we'll go here. No, next we won't go here. Next we'll go where Mother Nature tells us to go, or we'll die. And it may be going right back to Cro-Magnon. It may be going right back to Homo sapien. As you know, we're sapien sapien right now. It may be going all the way back to Neanderthal. We may go back to walking on all fours. Whatever Mother Nature asks, we shall give her. Because if we don't, we die. That's how that works. Don't be confused, please. Please don't be confused. I'm looking at my microphone volume here, and I'm not liking what I see. It appears to be very loud. I'm going to turn it down just a bit, so you may have to adjust your settings. Hello, hello, test 1, 2. See, that's more in the range I think it should be right there, reaching into the yellow on occasion, but mostly hanging around in the green. Hopefully that works for you. And the reason all that happened, I like to do little, kind of take you along on my technical journey here, but I don't want to bore you either, so I just do really short clips. I used this plugin that was supposed to be super cool, turned it off, then went back in and used the built-in plugins for Sam Broadcaster, which aren't nearly as powerful as some of these outside plugins to make your station sound real, really powerful with that boom and no hissing and all that. Well, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get the crickets out of the background and get the hiss out of the background, and I ended up paying a price for that. However, when I set the new settings, it boosted my microphone setting way up to, I was probably sounding distorted to you. There is a way for me to monitor myself, but I forgot how to do it, so I'm not messing with that either. I'll figure all that out in time. Hell, it took me forever to figure out how to get calls on this thing. I can take your calls now, and you can call in to talk about fake people tonight. Go ahead and call in at 910 no lying. Yeah, no lying. It's truth on tap, right? Well, it makes sense to be 910 no lying. you can call in 910-665-9464. You can also come on to the text chat. Go to Truth on Tap on the Spreaker website, and you'll see down at the lower right a little chat icon beside a heart. Click on that, and you're in the chat, and we're talking, and I'm airing your views live. What a great world we live in. Me, a boy who had a fantasy that I might one day be able to be a host on a radio station, was never big into music. I'm not a big music guy. I like music, like the next guy, but I'm not a audiophile, I guess they call them. But I always loved the idea of reaching people through the radio. Proof? Let me take you back to 1987. I'm a freshman, sophomore in high school, somewhere in there. I'm living way out in a small town of Matthews, Virginia. It's about 2 hours north of Virginia Beach. Now, there's a radio station in Virginia Beach, the closest one that was a major station, WNVZ Z104. Still exists. And it played pop music of the day, And I actually moved over to Matthews from Newport News, so I was listening to WNVZ Z104 over there, back with that 80s music, right from the turn of the decade. And as I got out to Matthews, and I guess you could say I got a little bored, for some reason I wanted to start calling the radio station and getting in on stuff. So I started learning to impersonate voices. And I got real good at it. I was practicing with a friend, and he was good at it, and he taught me some, and I learned some on my own, and I was getting good at it. They wanted me on all the time for a guest DJ, and I was into it. I love this medium. I've written novels. It's not the same. I've made videos face-to-face. Doesn't touch radio. Radio does two things that I love. First, it requires you to use your imagination some. Not entirely, but some. Whereas writing requires almost all of your imagination, and video requires almost none. Radio requires some, but radio also gives you some cues in the voice so that you can get some help and not have to rely on nothing but imagination. And the fact that it can be live, yes, you can do live video as well, interaction, but who wants to look at a picture of me on the screen when you can just listen to my show while you go surfing through Facebook or whatever? That's a fucking winner. Everybody wins. Who's losing there? You go surf through Facebook, you're reading your stuff, you're looking at pictures of cats because that's what Facebook is for, and you're listening to a show, maybe picking up some information. Who's losing there? Huh? Hey, buddy. Hey, what the fuck's wrong with that? Huh? You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? Who the fuck? Why am I funny? Huh? You want me to fucking bust your kneecaps open? Huh? You think I'm fucking funny? Huh? All right. Well, I've never even done Joe Pesci. That was the first time. So give me a break if you would.
You don't end up doing Don Imus on you. You don't want me to do that. It always sounds drunk, It might have something to do with goddamn cowboy hat. You speak on it. He looks like an anteater because his mouth is in his nose. His mouth is in his nose, and he looks like an anteater. Use a cowboy hat and drop it down over his snout. Yeah, well, I haven't practiced in a while. I have practiced a little bit on Imus, but I'll learn those again. I'll get those back into the show. Well, into the show. They haven't been in the show before. As you know, this is a relatively new and modest program, bringing truth to you as accurately as I can find it, calling out those who lie, bringing you the most polished and refined version of reality I can think to bring you. Nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I'm like most people. I will live in my rose-colored world, but I will do it knowingly. I will do it knowing just how far outside of reality I've chosen to exist. Okay? Everybody should have a good view of what real reality is. Then, if you want to go live in green fields with happy bunnies, you got it. Go for it. Who's going to stop you? I'm not. I just want you to know what real reality is. Then you can choose what you want to ignore and what you want to include in your daily stuff. What I don't want is people lying to you. Advertisers, politicians especially. What I cannot stand is abuse of authority. Politicians, cops, doesn't work for me. I'm going to be all over it. And bullies. Goddamn a bully. They set me off. I think I figured out what it is. People have heard me talk about bullies before, and they're fake people too, so fuck it, it applies. I watched a show when I was a kid called My Bodyguard. Ding, ding, ding. You just remembered, didn't you?
That was a badass movie, wasn't it? My Bodyguard. Kid gets protected by the big guy. You remember that? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where I got my hatred for bullies. I do. Hated them ever since. Now, I was only bullied a couple times, and basically I got up in their face and they got all cool about it because that's what bullies do. Um, I was at a friend's house and somebody was trying to get me to fight. I came out and asked if everything was all right because he was cussing somebody out. He started asking, "Who's that? Who's that?" Blah, 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 blah. Well, I got mad right away because, like I said, I can't stand a bully. This is in high school. I punched the screen door out. The screen door flew out of the door itself and out into the yard as I screamed leave so loud that I think he pissed himself. He backed down. He backed down and wanted to drink a beer with me later, but I wasn't real cool with that because I don't believe just because I've scared you down to your real size, I'm now okay with you. Because don't go around acting like you're unreal size. Fuck you is what I was thinking. That's the way that goes. A couple other times, middle school, dealt with one, told him I was going to whoop his ass if he messed with me. He left me alone. Bullies will do that, but you got to stand up for yourself. If you don't, damn it, they love controlling. They love controlling. See, I don't believe that any law-abiding citizen should be told how to live. From that foundational belief comes all of this. Comes this, don't judge. Comes this, don't bully, don't boss. Definitely don't abuse your authority, power over someone. People deserve to be free from your rule, okay? I will not be ruled by anyone at any time, ever. If you suddenly find that we're living in a dictator state and the thought police come and get me and say, you will make allegiance right now to this dictator and you will admit in public that he rules you, I'll say, fuck you and fuck the fat guy behind you. Nobody rules me. Shoot me. Oh, you're going to break my legs? Think that'll do it? Go ahead. Break them. Break my arms while you're at it. See if I'll follow anybody. See if I'll let somebody rule me. Yep, you'll find out what I'm made of then. I'll be a goddamn no leg, no arm, non-ruled motherfucker is what I'll be. Wiggling around like a snake talking about, see bitches? Ain't nobody ruling me. I ain't afraid. No. Can't stop me. Have confidence. Confidence is something I've always had to some degree, but now I have in the right amount. The right amount being, I don't fear anything. I'm not outgoing. I'm not going to conquer the world. Not my thing. I'm a disabled American vet. I've got a goddamn back brace on right now that's so tight that it leaves quarter-inch recessions in my skin when I take it off. Why do I do that? I'm hoping that it helps spread the vertebra apart back there and gives me some relief tonight. So that's the kind of pain I'm trading to get a relief in the other pain. Yeah, I'm not going to conquer the world. It's not on my list of things to do. But I've got confidence. And why not? Do you remember, if you have confidence now, do you remember what it was like when you didn't have confidence? You had to fake it then, didn't you? You had to be fake people to a degree, didn't you? Fake people misrepresent the entire world. And that's why they suck. Fake people are giving you a lie right up front. Chris Rock was talking about, how women say men are always the liars. And he said, women, your hair ain't even yours. Your makeup, that ain't your face. You're wearing heels. You ain't that tall. And he went on this stuff, saying, you're a lie right out of the box. See how we can go so far as to call them a lie just because they appear differently than they are. But when people appear fake, not real, that's a different thing. That means that they're essentially, lying to you verbally, pretending to be something they're not. And I don't know. Someone would say, well, what do you call a woman wearing a bunch of makeup and heels? I don't know. That's for you to judge. It's not what I term as fake people, though. You know what I'm thinking of when I think of fake people. I'm thinking of imposters. Typically middle-aged males who want to pretend they're more important than they are. Oh, God, do I know some. You see them, don't you? Out there, waiting for a cab or at the cafe. Got their cell phone, wearing a three-piece suit, one hand in the pocket, holding on to a money clip. Talking on the phone awful loud in an executive tone. And you find out that they're unemployed and on their way to a funeral, you know. That's a sadness of today's reality. Be who you are and embrace it. If you feel like a failure for some reason, because you don't have a job or something, why? Because society has told you that if you're not working 24/7, you're a failure? Go do something productive and forgive yourself. You know, this labor, this organized labor, didn't start till a couple, 300 years ago. I mean, people were working farms and stuff, but there was no 9 to 5, okay? We're animals. Don't let yourself ever be fooled by that. We're animals with thumbs and language. That's it. Stop being ashamed of yourself. Just live your life. If you are feeling guilty about something, fix it. If you're feeling angry about something, either let it go or fix it. There's no way to live. Angry is no way to live. Not at all. If anybody that's listening knows about the statistic relays graph in Sam Broadcaster, I realize sometimes a DJ will tune in to see how a show sounds. I'd really like to hear about it if you'll go to the chat and let me know. I'm still learning about that, and I'm trying to get my statistics correct. So, yeah. For those that didn't know, the topic tonight is fake people, and we're talking about them right now. And you are free to call in and talk about them as well, 910-NO-LYING, or go to Spreaker.com/user/TruthOnTap. You'll find the show. You can also go to Facebook, Facebook.com/TruthOnTapShow. Find all my shows there. And I'd prefer you go to Facebook because who knows how many times I might decide to change services. You know, I went from Blog Talk Radio, terrible audio quality, too expensive, over to Spreaker, great audio quality, a bitch to take calls on. I'm pretty pleased with Spreaker right now, but they've fumbled a couple times with me. So, you know, let's see if that's just starting jitters with them. Their audio quality is superior. I've had some skipping here and there, but overall, and compared to Blog Talk Radio, they're just volumes ahead in audio quality. Go to the Facebook page because I could change services at any time. That way you can follow me any service I take, because after all, who cares which service you're listening to if you're getting the show, right? Go to Facebook.com/TruthOnTapShow. All together, Truth on Tap Show. TOTS, TOTS, Truth on Tap Show. And then you can mark that and you can see when all my shows come out. Now, Facebook does have a limit on how many posts from one service they'll put up a day. So if I run 3 shows or something, it'll just stop posting updates, you know. So occasionally I'll do that manually, or you won't even know. You just have to go and check the show on Spreaker. But you can follow the link on the Facebook page to do that. Fake people, I got a website up here I want to talk to you about. I'm not saying it's absolutely right, but it's worth talking about. Now, this website is from Hub Pages. I don't know anything about them. I'm not trying to promote them. I don't know. Top 8 characteristics of fake people. Number 1, narcissism. Oh, they make any and everything about them. Oh, yeah, I've already got one in mind. I already know a person who wants all attention on himself at all times. It is about him. It will always be about him. The planets revolve around him. The celestial bodies are not allowed to move without his permission. And by God, if a black hole comes around, it better respect him. That kind of thinking. Yeah, that's narcissism. You know, studied it. I'm a student. Only come around when they need something in order to feel better about themselves. Number 2, sad outlook on life. All my former fake friends constantly complained about how much life sucked. Well, yeah, I don't see that as necessarily a factor in a fake person. No, I'm not agreeing with that. Maybe you will, I don't. Battles with low self-worth. That sounds reasonable. They might act like hot stuff or a know-it-all, but really they can't stand themselves. Misery loves company. And every fake friend I ever had suffered from low self-esteem and also at least once battled with depression, bipolar disorder, or some other mental illness. Now, I want to be careful here to separate what I'm calling a fake person from someone who is mentally ill. I very much subscribe to the reality of chemical imbalances and mental illness, whereas some people might say, your head ain't messed up, just act right. No, it's real. It's real. Chemicals are happening. Just about everything can be controlled through chemical balances, but it's real, these disorders. Now, do I agree that medication is overprescribed and that diagnoses are often misdiagnosed to get that medication prescribed or to otherwise categorize somebody who's troubled? Yes, absolutely. But, 60-70% of them, I'd say, are pretty solid. People need help, mental illness is real. We're just starting to really treat it, I mean, we've been looking at psychology only for about 150 years in the real sense, from the B.F. Skinner back through to the humanistic approach before that and cognitive approaches since then. And me just being stubbornly adhered to the evolutionary approach. We've been looking at it. We've been learning stuff that nobody took seriously before. It's real, guys. I promise you, the science is there. We've identified the chemicals, we've modified them in controlled settings with empirical data, and found out what's working and what's not, found out what lower serotonin reuptake will do, found out what increased levels of dopamine will do, found out what happens when you're not getting melatonin at sleep time. We found out in repeatable studies. Real. It's real. All right, so I am not saying that fake people are in any way connected with those that are mentally ill. Not in the way I'm defining fake people. I'm defining fake people as those who behave like someone else in order to make you feel differently about them than you would if you knew the real them, okay? And that does often come with them not accepting themselves, but I'm not going to connect that to a mental disorder like she does here. Example, in this same thing, Battles with Low Self-Worth, says, a fake friend may badger you to purse a crush they know is no good for you. Okay, I don't even know what that means. When you get hurt, they'll tell you, I told you so. Worse yet, if you are happy with your crush, they might try to find ways to get between the two of you. I've seen it. People don't want to see others happy. Fake people hate to see other people happy. Well, there you go. When it doesn't benefit them. For some reason, these people feel the need to always be the top dog, and nobody else deserves to shine above them. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Without saying any names or pointing any fingers, I have been or may be involved in relationships where people that were friends of the girl automatically found problems with me. Why? Because I threatened that friendship. They didn't care if she was happy, which is what they should have cared about if they really loved her. All they cared about is could they keep their superiority, their influence on that friend. Back the hell off. Let your friend live her life and be happy is what I say. Jesus. People are selfish in that way, You tell somebody what you think if you're a friend. You tell somebody what you think of who they're going out with, and you let it go. You let them follow their heart and mind. Let's see. Another one. Actions speak louder than words. Fake friends are constantly walking contradictions. No responsibility. They refuse to accept responsibility for any of their actions, and they always proclaim themselves the victim. Something made them do it, I suppose is what she's saying. I don't necessarily, once again, I don't ascribe that to fake people, but maybe you do. They are not that innocent. Fake people love to pretend they are nice, good people, and many believe they actually are. A fake friend will say things like, I missed you, let's hang out. So you take the initiative and contact them, however, they don't respond. Maybe you go online and see that they've logged on recently, days go by, and these fake friends still haven't contacted you. Why? Because they can't stand you. But being truthful and blunt about the situation goes against their ethos of playing the role of the good and innocent. They could simply, is what she meant to type, build a rapport with you without mentioning hanging out ever. But that would also mean closing the door on any future opportunities to use you for their own personal gains. Keep that in mind. Know when you're being used for the occasional favor. I, again, do not necessarily find that a characteristic of a fake person. Moving on to bigger, greener pastures, yeah, that I would say goes with a fake person. They're always looking for what I call the BBD, That's the bigger, better deal. This is something that I had a friend tell me about long ago. He said women are always looking for the BBD, the bigger, better deal. The richer man, and better car, better house, better job. And again, he was saying in general, there are always exceptions. I believe to a large part that's accurate. And let's call it how we see it. In this day and age, when marriage is not arranged, when marriage is not the first alternative, but eventually comes when marriage is 50% failure in this country, women are not at all feeling guilty about going for the BBD, and I guess I can't blame them. But I'll tell you what, I have a lot of admiration for women who marry based on personality, women who marry because they've got somebody real. And it doesn't matter if his income rises or falls. What matters is who he is. Those are the women I admire. But you got to survive. So if you're going for the BBD, you go do you. The trial of denial, number 8. There is no point confronting these people and calling them out on their behavior. They will simply always deny their actions and try to turn the incident around so that everything looks like it's your fault. Yeah, I'm not even going to read more. You know exactly what we're talking about here. Oh my God. Some ways to know if your friends are fake, and I'll tell you if I agree with them. You can decide. When you need someone to talk to and they rarely answer the phone or call you back, I'm going to step in right there. I don't answer my phone because I hate the phone, and I blame that on Gateway because I was tied to the phone 10 hours a day, and it gave me permanent trauma. Get me on Facebook. I will answer you and consult you from a psychological standpoint to be your support pillar. Just get me that way, not on the phone. You can't depend on them when you need help and support. Scenario, you're in the hospital, none of your friends come to visit, and they don't even call to check up on you. Well, yeah, that sounds right. When they do come around, they talk mainly about themselves. That's a huge one. That's how you find out the narcissist. Another thing is, do they talk too much? Are they more of a listener than a talker, or more of a talker than a listener? Because someone who talks all the time, in my view, can't be learning much. It's impossible to talk and learn at the same time, in my view. So I always say, as long as you listen more than you talk, you've got something to offer humanity. I'm talking more now than I ever have, but I'm still listening way more than that in order to do this show, If you met me before this show, you would have seen that I talk cumulatively about 15 minutes a day, if that. Hey, how you doing, babe? Yeah, love you. Yep, okay. What do you need? You hungry? Yeah. For 15 minutes, that kind of thing, and I'm done. That's it. We'll go on down the list here, and these are, remember, she's already finished with the main points. She's just going over things that she thinks might be indicative, probably in groups if she's being mature, of someone who's fake. They make fun of you behind your back, and maybe even to your face. They're always gossiping and talking trash about other people. Watch that shit. Watch that shit, my friends. Anybody gossiping about other people will gossip about you. Know that. That's just the truth. My friends will tell you right up front that I don't do negativity. That also includes that you're not going to hear me gossiping about other people. I will occasionally talk in general, very rarely mention a name, about someone who is, I don't know, an asshole. Occasionally. But I try to stay away from the negativity altogether, and I don't sit here and talk bad about other people. Picking on individuals for their individual behavior, unless they're real assholes, because I'm anti-negativity. I don't believe people need help having a bad day. Life's hard enough. Let's see. First, before I go on, and this list does go on, and it's a good list, so I will keep going with it. Just got to check my stuff here, make sure we're legit. Probably will play a song here in a few minutes by Bad Ace, but I'm kind of rolling right now. I'm feeling good. Can't believe I've still got a voice. I did 2 shows last night. This is my second one tonight. And I've got one tomorrow. Well, Friday. We're in Friday now at 3 in the morning. So we'll do that. I don't see anybody in chat yet. Again, you can get on chat by going to Spreaker.com/truthontap. Actually, it's Spreaker.com/user/truthontap. truth on tap. And once you get there, you just look down in that lower right corner. You'll see a heart. Right beside the heart, you'll see a little, what looks like a chat window, a little speech bubble. Click on that, and you'll be in chat. And hopefully I'll see you there, because I tend to get tunnel vision when I focus on a topic and not check for 10 minutes, you know. You can call in too. 910, no lying is number. Call in. You'll be on the air. You'll be a part of Truth on Tap history. How about that shit? One day we might have shirts. You don't know. One day we could be giving away keychains. How about that? Huh? One day we might just have Australian Outback hats with bandanas that say Beastie Boys on them. Why do I say that? Because you don't know. That's what's great about the future. You don't know. It can go any which way. Yeah, I'm just pulling that out of my ass. Know that 97% of the time I'm not being real serious. Seriously. I'm giving you good advice. I'm trying to. I'm giving you facts. I'm trying very hard to do that. But when it comes to emotional things, I can't take things too seriously. Not in general, and not stay happy. They don't go together. So yeah, I'm not going to get real crazy emotional about much. You know, the basic things that would enrage you, they enrage me too. But I'm not going to, you know, for the most part, I let things go because I have to. I'm not letting other people's behavior take over my ability to experience happiness. Now, I told you a while ago, and this is a mistake I've been making a lot lately, I'll tell you that we're coming back to something and we don't. Well, you know, blame my scatterbrain. I don't know. I definitely have the personality of the nutty professor. I'm trying to think too much at once, okay? That's what I do, too many topics at once, and I'm not a good multitasker. I will admit that right up front. I'm a focus guy. Yet I won't remember what I said 10 minutes ago. So even though I can focus like a laser on what's right in front of me, it's not a continuous beam, if you will. It's selective. But what I promised you we would talk about was the people you got to watch out for, and the negative people. Again, people that gossip, stay away from them. Stay away from them, because I guarantee they're gossiping about you. People who are negative, if you're going to hang out with somebody who's negative all the time and always has to bitch about something, you're not going to be happy. Do you understand that? I guarantee you that. If I had $1 million, I'd bet you $1 million, if we could prove it in a lab, that if you're hanging around somebody daily who is negative all the time or most of the time, you're not going to find true happiness. As cold and callous and calculating as it sounds, you have to dump that friend. You're going, I can't do that. Well, that's fine, don't do it. But you're not going to be happy. You want true happiness? Cut the negative people out of your life, like you trim the fat off a pork chop. Get them out. I know it sounds cold. It's the only way to do it. I'm sorry. There's no alternative there. You can always send out a warning. Hey, everybody, I'm taking a new approach on life. I don't like negative thoughts and negative words. Starting in 30 days, I'm going to start pushing people out of my daily interactions that are negative all the time. There, you gave them a warning. You gave them 30 days to know that when they're around you, they need to keep it neutral or positive. Don't keep going into the negative. Well, the goddamn government. Da 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 da. And my neighbors suck ass. Da 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 dee da dee da do. People at my church are all dee da all da dee da all da ding. And this guy I work with is such an asshole. Blah 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 dee. That shit will get off on you like a contagious cancer and eat you up inside. You don't even have to be the one saying it. You just have to be around it. And then you're going home and you have necessarily taken on the burden of your friend's problems, at least to some degree. You think you can find happiness then? No, you can't. You can't. It's a huge roadblock. Now, naturally, before you even bother with cutting away your negative friends, you yourself have to get rid of your negative thoughts about people, places, and things. That's not always easy. It took me probably a year, my first year after my sister and I made the pact to eliminate negative thoughts and people from our lives. Once we made that pact, I took it very seriously. I think she did too, because it seems that she's got it down. One of my other sisters also took the pact, but did not seem to adhere to it, and I'll leave that at that. I believe that now I have a shot at real happiness. I'm not all the way there yet. I'm very happy with my girlfriend. She treats me well. She's honorable. She's honest. I'm not happy with my medical situation, but I don't dwell on it. I'm not happy with the communication that I'm getting with my daughter because it's basically non-existent right now. There are things I need to work through, but I see true happiness. I see that it's really just a couple of steps across a pretty fast-moving river to get there, and it used to be across a lake, you know. So I got to get there, these last few steps, but I got to be careful. And I'm getting there. I see it now. And that has only come, my friends, it has only come from forcing the negative thoughts on a daily basis, forcing them out of your mind, saying that thought's no good, and forcing the negative people out of my daily circles. Okay? That's the only way it works. I promise you that. Prove me wrong. I want you to. Prove me wrong, and then go on the Facebook page and prove it in public. Tell me what I have wrong. Facebook.com/TruthOnTapShow. You can call in, again, 910, no lying. You want to be on? Tell me what you think about fake people. That's what I want to know. What do you think about fake people? I'm going to go ahead and pull up another. This is what I like to do when I do a show, and we're going to keep going through the list. Yeah, as I said, I forget things, so occasionally I'll click on them and go, oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. All right, the next tip that I was reading about, mostly superficial or bare a minimum amounts of advice. You ask them how you can solve a problem, and they simply say, I don't know. Well, yeah, that can show that they don't care about you. They make fun of you. They misplace. Yeah, we've already read that. When you ask them about something, they avoid eye contact. That's a good one. I don't know if it necessarily applies to a fake person, but I would say yes. That sounds like one of the characteristics. Why? Well, glad you asked. When someone is avoiding eye contact with you, it means one of two things, or a combination thereof. One, they're being submissive. Two, they're lying. You understand? They're either saying, you own this ground, I won't challenge you on it. More than likely, though, they're being dishonest in some way. At the very least, they're trying to mislead you. Or they're holding back a truth. They may not be lying, but they're holding back a truth if they won't look you in the eye. You want to know if somebody's lying? I'll give you the 1-minute rundown. You could even tell on the phone. Their voice will raise in pitch. They will get very defensive over what the accusation or question is. If you're in person with them, you will see that they start crossing themselves. They start crossing their arms, crossing their legs, looking away from you, not making eye contact. And when they talk, this is the biggest one to me. This is a huge giveaway. When they say something, at the very moment they're going to tell you a lie, they will put something in front of their mouth as if they're physically trying to stop themselves from telling the lie. It may be a finger to a lip, a scratch on the nose so that their hand's in front of their mouth. Watch that. Once you got that, my friend, and the other signs, you're a human lie detector at that point. That's how easy it is. And there are other signs, but I'm going to make you look those up. Yeah, you can tell when people are lying. Fake people are going to lie. They have to maintain the illusion. And they may not even be presenting a good illusion. They may only be fooling themselves. But I don't like them. God, I don't like a fake person. Oh, drama. They always have drama. And I haven't seen that yet in this description, but hopefully that'll pop up. They make fun of you. Yeah, we already said all that. All right, let me go down here. They're always competing against you, trying to outdo you. They also rub their successes in your face. Oh my gosh. The person I was telling you about earlier, well, this is what he does. He's going to always tell you about his accomplishments. Always. He's done this. He's done that. He owns this. He owns that. He's done it all. He's got it all. Sad. That's sad. And something else about this particular person I'm thinking of, and I know others like him. I'm not saying he's exclusive in this role. is that he cares about things a lot. And let me go a little deeper on that. Are you the kind of person who, let's say you have a 2-year-old at home, that 2-year-old gets a black crayon, and when you're not paying attention because you went in to get her a bottle or something, came back, she's written all over one of your walls. How do you approach that situation? Me? I was madly in love with my daughter when she was 2 years old. I was taking care of her alone at that time. I would have laughed, taken some pictures, and called it a day, cleaned up the wall. Some people get nasty angry, and some are in the middle. They'll yell and calm down, and that'll be that. He, like other people, are very materialistic. They're mad at that kid, not really because they have to clean up. They don't mind doing the cleanup. They're mad because their wall was injured in some way. Their precious item was injured in some way. Screw that, people. That's stuff. Stuff will come and go. You can't take it with you when you're dead. You've heard all the cliches. Nothing gets buried with you. You have what you came into this world with when you go down. Your life is about experiences and love. That's what it's got to be about, not things. You're being so shallow if you focus on things all the time. Don't do that. That's not good. If you're like that, I'm trying to help you out, and I'm trying to help you out. You can get out of it. Start thinking about people and their feelings. Start thinking about who you can connect with. What do your experiences with other people mean to you? And what can it mean to them? Can you help them? Help them then. Help them. It's an amazing feeling when you're helping somebody. And you'll be appreciated for it. It'll come back to you tenfold. Forget about your shit. Don't be studying your truck for a half hour looking for a scratch. Come on now. That's not life. That's not life. That's silliness. Let's keep going here. Yeah, they rub their successes in your face. They always cancel the plans you guys made at the last minute. Okay. Yeah, I think I could ascribe that to fake people. I think that'd be pretty common behavior by fake people. That seems to fit in the persona. Let's see what else. They flat out tell you they'd rather hang out with other people, even though you made plans with them first. Now that's pretty gosh damn cruel there. And they must believe they have full control over you if they can tell you that they want to hang out with others and not you. Yeah, that's pretty cruel there. Everyone or almost everyone comes before you. Yeah. They might forget to congratulate you on your special day, birthday or graduation. Yeah. Again, now I'm not seeing this as fake people necessarily. They're only fake if they've presented to you that they're a good friend, and then they fail to do this. If they have not presented to you that they're a good friend, but rather an acquaintance, then you can't hold them to anything more than this. So that doesn't indicate fake to me. A fake person is necessarily presenting an image of themselves that they know is not accurate. Usually in order to impress, mislead, or use someone. They have no interest in properly introducing themselves and engaging in conversations with your parents, roommates, family, or other friends. Seems reasonable. Lastly, trust your gut. If they seem shady, investigate. And as I said in one of last night's shows, trust your gut anyway, Your gut instinct is a sense. It's just a sense we haven't defined yet. That sixth sense, maybe it's part of it, maybe it's a seventh sense. Trust it. It's just something we haven't defined yet. If you count up the times you followed your gut instinct, how many times was it wrong? Now, if your radar is completely broken, fine, don't trust it. If you're getting it right 1 out of 10 times, well, shit, your gut instinct sucks. But most people's is very accurate. That is, they're sensing something and they don't know how. They just know they're sensing it. Mine is hitting about 90%. And with numbers like that, I go ahead and give my gut instinct 100% of my trust. Even though I know 1 out of 10 times it's going to be wrong, I can't ignore numbers like that. I gotta trust it every time and just let it be wrong 1 out of 10 times. I'm okay with that. I think you should be too. If you find that your gut instinct is often right, don't go against it. If you go against it, it's almost invariably going to come back to bite you. If something is telling you don't get in this car with this person right now, and it's saying it's strong and it's surprising you like you've never had that kind of feeling before, don't get in the damn car. Just don't do it. Something's telling you not to get on the plane, don't get on the plane. Trust it. Now, if it turns out nothing happens to the plane, oh well, no harm, no foul. You got a delayed flight, right? Fine. And then they go into, on this same thing, tips on how to gain more positive friendships. This will help illustrate, if I read some of them to you, what the fake people are, because it shows what real people are, so you can do it by comparison. But I don't know if I'm going to go into that. Let me look here. We are at the 50-minute mark. I'm going to load up 2 Bad Ace songs, as has been my history, and play those for you. Bad Ace being a local band here, playing out of the Middle Peninsula area of Virginia. They play venues all around here, probably from as far south and east as Virginia Beach, right on up to Richmond and everything in between. Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Portsmouth, I assume, Yorktown, Grafton, Gloucester, Matthews, Middlesex, the entire Northern Neck. Get in touch with them. You can go to badace.com. You can find them on Facebook as well, Bad Ace. Excellent music. They play just about anything. And all I play at the current time is their original music, because there are all kinds of copyright issues when you're using services like I'm using. So you have to really be careful what you play. And I have, explicit permission from them to play these songs for now. If they decide to revoke that, they revoke it and I can't play them anymore. But I don't think they'll do that. But they do maintain that right. And I do have a friend in this band, so yes, I promote it partially out of a personal thing, not just out of the quality of their music, but the quality is good. I don't lie for anybody. So just because my friend's in the band doesn't mean I'm beefing up my opinion of the band. If he wasn't in the band, I'd have the very same opinion of this group. I just think they're good at what they do. So Todd's the drummer in this band. He also happens to run Western Shore Heating and Cooling out here in Matthews, Virginia. So if you're in the Northern Neck area or anywhere near the peninsula, give him a call, look him up in the book, or go to westernshoreinc.com to get in touch with him. You can also find him on Facebook, Western Shore Heating and Cooling. They'll take care of you. I've known the guy forever. He's never had a negative thing said about him. You're going to get a good deal with a good guy. What else can you ask for? And not get screwed on price? You're winning there. You can't lose. For all your heating and air conditioning needs. And speaking of Todd, being the drummer in Bad Ace is about to come on right now and play Your Love.